So, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, this whole night, these podcasts, sitting down with all of the artists, um, this has been this has been a grand time, man. This has been a grand time. So I'll tell you guys a story like I told everyone else. So a few weeks ago, they told me there was going to be a show here, and they said a group show. I'm not really a big fan of group shows. A lot of times, I'm not going to say I don't like them, but I appreciate a lot of times a show one artist and you get a chance to experience their whole journey on um, whatever they want to present. But this was different. This was different. When they said it was a group show, then they showed me a list of the artists. And every last person on that list is someone in this region who I truly don't just appreciate the work that they commit to the canvas, but also their journey as an artist. Like it's people that are actually fighting to find something in this. They're not hobbyists. They feel like true life people that inspire me. So this list was curated perfectly and it just excited me. And my friend, you were on this list. You were on this list, and it's nothing but heavy hitters after heavy hitters, and it's a pleasure.
It is also a pleasure.
To meet you.
Yeah.
And Jim, it was word on the street is you're the one to put the list together.
You say?
Yes, you are. So, my friend, as an artist, as an enthusiast, thank you. This is like an all-star game. That's what it feels like to me. You know what I mean? So, like, dude, you did a great job. So I'm gonna start with Jim, and I'm gonna work my way to you.
Sure.
So Jim, what made you select the artist on this list?
Well, I've been curating for a couple of years now, and I'm still exhibiting. I'm still showing in galleries. I show in New York City a lot, and whether I'm there or I'm in another city, I'm always promoting Pittsburgh. And a lot of people don't understand how strong the Pittsburgh art community is. We have a world-class art scene here, and a lot of people don't know it yet. I think we are stronger than Santa Fe. We're stronger than Chicago. Big cities. Now, LA and New York are massive. We're a much smaller city than that. But you talk about heavy hitters. We have just incredible visionaries here. And the world needs to rediscover. I mean, they know Warhol.
Right.
They need to rediscover Pittsburgh. And that's one thing that I've been working very hard at is bringing attention to Pittsburgh. So if you are going to introduce Pittsburgh to the world, you got to be careful who you're selecting. And I'm trying to assemble, because I've done this a couple times now, I'm trying to assemble the artists that have that vision. We're not doing ducks and sunsets. They're people that have a voice and they are just doing amazing things with their art. So when I'm picking those artists, and like Bryan, I discovered him, and I was like, well, I have to get him involved too. There's just so many great artists here in this area.
Well, I want to talk about Bryan. So what was it about Bryan's work? And Bryan, you know what? First I'm gonna ask you, what was it about Bryan's work that you said, this is a voice that needs to represent this town?
Well, we have very different voices, and
Right.
you could see the roster. And when you see the show, you are going to see the strength of Pittsburgh. Bryan has this American painterly style. Were the Wyeths ever your influence? I just see this Americana in his style, and the way he manipulates and manages the paint.
Oh, now you got now
In a
I'm
way,
like,
though, that it looks effortless. That's the key. He's one of the artists you want to introduce and say, look, he could be in the Whitney.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he? What, just because we're from Pittsburgh?
Brad,
Come on now.
How does that make you feel?
Everybody needs to
Brad?
catch up.
How does that make you feel hearing that?
Well, just to touch on the Wyeth thing. So yeah, I absolutely love all the Wyeths. NC and Andrew.
I can see it in your paint.
Yeah. So and part of that, and I just kind of like realized it too, that I realized that I gravitate towards Wyeth because a lot of my work is a little bit more earth tones and muted, and so I love brightly colored artwork, and I will do that sometimes digitally, but there's just something about that, the minimalist of the earth tones that I gravitate towards. So yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head with Wyeths. I do, quite enjoy those.
Absolutely love that. And also, what I've been asking all of the artists that were selected, and I've been getting pretty much the same answer from everyone. But I'm excited to hear what you have to say. So each artist has an opportunity to present one work in this exhibition, in this show. What is the work that you want to present and why?
Ooh, well, I don't think I have selected that yet.
Same answer, everyone. And you know what?
I
love it.
I do have something in mind. I don't normally exhibit figures. From time to time I do, and I think I'm going to be leaning towards maybe a figure for this one. So,
you know why I appreciate this answer so much? To me, that is someone who has walked the terrain, someone who has navigated the terrain, and is not a first timer, right? A lot of time, all of the artists have mentioned that they need to come into space, feel it out, understand, take in more data before they can really commit to a piece that they want to present. Some people are working on a few things that aren't completed, but I think those artists that, it's hard to select something when you don't know what other pieces are going to be around or what other energy is going to be around. So I think, to me, the best answer is the answer that you just given. It's like, you know what, I'm not all the way there yet. I'm still taking in data, and it'll become. I just think that's a way better approach.
yeah, I think for me it's a little bit more of thinking what I want to present. That's because it's supposed to be something that's very personal,
Right.
and the depth of your creativity. And so I think I really have to think about that. And I do, I have some things they're really personal, and I think that this would be a good forum to maybe to display something like that I don't normally would display in maybe other galleries or shows, what I traditionally do. So
how long have you been exploring the creative journey? Like when did this become a part of your that you committed to the journey of being an artist?
yeah, I mean, I think probably like most artists, this is something that I've always enjoyed most of my life. I was always a creative kid. I always liked to make things and build things. I would make comics and draw and doodle, but I don't think it was really until, and I even started selling professionally, probably in the last decade, but I don't think it was until 2020 that I started really just all in painting every single day, and it just became an all-consuming aspect of my life. So it's been a steady build. Over the years, there was the seeds, that were growing, since I was really little, and then there's different plateaus where things would happen, and I'd start painting and drawing, and then that would lead to something else, and then that would grow. You get up to the next plateau, and then I think I'm to that point now where it just kind of went exponential, where it was just, now it's just an all-consuming, aspect of my daily life.
I love that, man. I'm one of those people where I'm like, and I said this earlier in the podcast, I'm like Betty White in the Snickers commercial when I'm not painting. I'm just like, I'm angry, and life doesn't really make sense. It just completes me. So I was asking a lot of people, why do they paint? But I think a way better way of asking that is, why can't you stop painting?
I just don't feel good when I'm not painting. And I think it's, for me, I can't stop painting because I don't know what I would fill that void with. Because it is from the time that I wake up in the morning, and it would be like asking someone to stop speaking. Because it is a language, it's a way to communicate, it's a way to document. So some people keep journals and diaries and they write things down. Or some people, might record things on their social media. Like for me, if I were to stop painting and drawing and sketching, then I would lose that way to document and communicate and record things. So, for me, painting and art is part just recording my life. Every painting that I make is somewhere that I've been. It's somebody that I know.
It's like a journal entry.
It's a journal entry, really.
Right. And the show is almost like you opening up your journal.
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just had a show not too long ago, and I had a bunch of small works up on a wall, and somebody asked me, like, do you remember, where all these were, what all these mean? And I was like, well, that was the sunset, in Portland, and that was a pear that I had for breakfast this one morning, and then this was, I can remember every single painting, every little aspect of it, and it's just a little window into my past. And so if I were to stop doing that, I wouldn't have that record of my life. I have my sketchbooks that I keep for everything, and if I were to stop that, I just wouldn't have that anymore. I wouldn't be able to look back and reflect on my life.
Ooh, I love that. Jim, great job. Great job. I'm so excited about this show. November 16th, correct?
Yes.
November 16th, guys. We're going to be down here at the Atithi Studios. We're not done yet. I still have a few more questions for you, Jim. Why is it that, I know you said you want to put Pittsburgh on the map, but what brought you to art? Like, what was the thing? Have you been doing this your whole life?
I've been an artist my entire life. Since I was a little kid, I don't ever remember a time when I didn't identify as an artist. So I remember, and my parents were amazing. They would take me to the Carnegie Museum every Saturday. So art classes, that was my every Saturday as a child, art classes. As a kid, my own little art shows. But that's all I've ever done. So I went to art school. I lived in Italy, went to art school there. I became a graphic designer, an art director. I've been an illustrator. I've been an art teacher. I've been a college professor. I've shown in art galleries. This is just,
Yeah.
it's all I've ever done is art. So
Just
that's all I can do.
I know.
Like you said, it's like
love it.
It's like speaking. It's like breathing. I do art because I am. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all I know.
That
is
is
art.
That is. I don't think there's a better explanation than that. With me, it just makes the world. The world is just that much more beautiful. The sky's a little bluer. The grass is a little greener when I'm engaged with creating. I walk outside and anything could be inspiration. The world looks vivid to me, and it's. I just can't see myself walking this world without it looking like. I know what that looks like and what that feels. I couldn't go back. I just can't go back. I understand how pretty, how beautiful the existence is through the work, and each and every one of these artists aren't just. They're pulling from the inside out. It's almost like you're putting your soul on a canvas. That's what I'm seeing from, these artworks, the works that are being produced seem to have just soul, man. And I've watched the development of a lot of them. So Brian, going into this, getting the call. What was it like getting the call from Joe? What was it like getting the call from Joe? Tell me how that worked. How did this even like come together?
Well, I mean, it was, I think the first thing that went through my mind was just like, why me? Like,
Not who in the hell's this guy?
yeah, so, and then, just learning a little bit more about it. But then when I saw the list of the other individuals listed, then I was like, I was like, this is no joke.
Yeah,
So,
you know, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, I was like, okay.
There's like Carolyn and Scott and Bob and, it's just all these names that I've known. And then when I heard that there was going to be a time to hang out tonight and do a podcast, and I'm like, I get to meet and talk with all my like favorite artists in the city. I'm like, heck yeah, So, I mean, it's just been great, and I think what you're doing is fantastic to bring everybody, from Pittsburgh together and display a real kind of range of the different, artists that we have here, and to bring everybody together, I think is really fantastic.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, the amount of individuals that left today and said, "Oh, I'm about to go paint," like the spark in everyone. They always say when you talk to somebody, you need to pay attention to one or two things. Are you leaving with energy, or are you drained from energy? Everyone left here alive today. The conversations, the cross-pollination of application of work, of their work, like these are the moments. Steve Woz had to meet Steve Jobs somewhere. The connection, right? And that connection created the company, right? I feel like when you get creative minds together, you get two of them together, and the third thing that happens could be the thing that gets us to Jupiter or something. It's a powerful thing, man. It's a powerful thing. What happened here tonight is the reason why I love gatherings like this, and it gives me hope that us as creators, we all know sometimes we can be a little bit feisty, we can be a little bit one-sided with thinking, but today was union. It was a unity. Everyone was speaking, everyone was flowing. I didn't see one bad word go across the table, or one bad intent. Everyone was showing love. Everyone was happy, because we all understand the journey. And that's why I think when I seen that list, each and every one of those artists, that's what I see. I see someone who has battled with themselves, has been in those battles in that studio, in between those walls, and came out with something to show the world more than one time. And it's going to be a glorious day. It's going to be a glorious day. I'm excited. So is there anything else you want to tell the folks that are watching? Is there anything else that you want to, let them know?
June?
The opening will be the 16th, November 16th, and 6 to 8.
Yep.
This show will continue until December 22nd, but you want to come on the opening.
Absolutely.
That's when everyone will be here. It'll be a nice evening, so that's the night to be here. Put it on your calendar. We're in for it. We'll have a nice evening.
You heard the man. Come out here and come out here and see this. You're doing yourself a big disservice by not. But we hope to have you out here at the Atithi Studios the 16th, 6 to 8 or 6 to 8?
Yes,
6 to 8. Yeah, let's do this. All right. I think that's the way to close it up.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right. That was beautiful.
You're so smooth.